You're with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
7 minutes after 9 o'clock. Dumelang. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Clement Manyathela Show. I hope you've had a wonderful, wonderful week so far. And I hope you're good this morning and ready for the long weekend. Thank you for being with us here on 702. It's Friday. And you know what we do every Friday? We do Gratitude Friday. This is where you can call us and tell us what you are grateful for this week. There are a lot of bad things going around, as Trump always reminds us about the bad things that are happening. So we must take time to be grateful and be intentional about being grateful, whether it's for big or small things. We have to cultivate the culture of gratitude. And that's why we do this every Friday on the open line. So share with us what you are grateful for this week. What happened that put a smile on your face? One of the things I'm grateful for this week is that I passed an exam that was so difficult that I wrote back in May, and I've just been hoping and praying because it was so tough. And when we got our results this week, I was so relieved to see that I've managed to pass. And I wonder what you are grateful for. 011-883-0702. That's the number to dial. You can share your story with us on the WhatsApp line as well on 072-702-1702. Did you see the terrible news about that plane crash yesterday? My goodness. So, more than 290 people were killed in a plane crash yesterday. This happened in the Indian city of Ahmedabad. The Air India plane was bound for London. It had about 242 people on board, and it crashed literally a few minutes after taking off. This is probably the worst aviation disaster in a decade. This was Boeing 787. It's a Dreamliner. It came down in a residential area. Crashing into a medical college hostel during lunch hour. I mean, the visuals are actually quite unbelievable. In fact, footage you can see in the videos, if you've seen the videos, you can see the footage revealing the aircraft struggling to gain altitude with the devastating impact occurring shortly after departure. There is one guy, though, who survived the crash, who was apparently on a seat next to an emergency exit, seated in 11A. He was ejected from that plane and he remains alive. He's in hospital. He's not even critical from the visuals I have seen. He has spoken to reporters. People have even been joking about booking seat 11A for their next trip. But what a devastating accident. And really our thoughts and prayers are with the families of the victims. Do plane incidents like these actually worry you? I mean, if you are scared of flying, do you change your flights when you hear of accidents like these? I mean, flying is still considered the safest mode of transport, right? Statistically. But also, you're unlikely to survive a plane crash. So this chap that survived, that's a miracle. Huh? What's that song by Mariah Carey? Abel, what's that song? There's a song. Doesn't Mariah Carey have a song about miracles or something? Huh?
It's hard to kill.
Do you believe in miracles? That's actually Whitney, eh? That's Whitney with Mariah Carey. That's all I thought of when I was seeing this guy miraculously surviving like that. That's a song that was on my mind. Have you actually ever survived alone Have you ever been a lone survivor in something? Maybe an accident where people asked, how did you survive? Or maybe you survived something when most people thought you had no chance. Maybe an illness, a terminal illness. You were told you're going to live up to a certain point, and here you are. You're still alive. Why don't you share your story with us? I once fell, believe it or not, in a pit toilet when I was young, but it had water, so it didn't have the other stuff. It had water because it had just been excavated. But I survived. And I called my mom this morning because I think, some things happen when you're young. They're so traumatic that you don't remember them. But I remember growing up, everybody used to just tell me about how, when you nearly died, like you survived, you fell into a pit toilet. And I always used to think, did I? Because I really have no recollection of it. But apparently I was really young. So I called my mom this morning actually to ask, give me more details. She shared the story with me. So she says she was cutting her nails and then she gave me those nails to go throw out or somewhere. And then I walked straight to that pit toilet. And as I was throwing those, I fell and the neighbors were screaming. And there's a cousin of mine who saw that, jumped in to save me. So what is it that you survived, my friend? What have you survived when the odds were against you? Give us a call or send us a WhatsApp voice note.
Clement Manyathela, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Oh, Clement, I'm just so grateful for finally, becoming myself again. For the past 4 years, I could not even recognize myself. I was an absolute wreck. I was a mess. And I just realized this week, how I realized that I'm actually doing much better is the fact that I am actually cooking more for my family, and I love it, again. That was just one of the things that I had just stopped doing because I was just feeling so drained and emotionally wrecked. But I'm grateful to God that I'm finally becoming myself again.
Good morning, Clement. Well, there's nothing special that really happened to me as of this week, but I'm just grateful for life. Look, I've met a lot of people that have been sick from different diseases, body pains, this flu that's more like COVID and stuff. But me being able to wake up every morning, do my daily routine stuff and all that, I'm just grateful, I'm just grateful for the gift of life. And I think it's something that we sometimes take for granted. But remember, for you to be able to accomplish anything and all your goals, all your plans, you gotta have to be alive. You need to have been able to wake up in the morning, and let's not take that for granted. So I'm just grateful for being alive and kicking. Thanks, Clement. Happy Friday. Have a lovely day. Nice show as always. This is Courage in Pretoria.
Courage, listen, it is a special thing that you're alive today, and it's important to just be grateful for that. I think sometimes we get even overwhelmed by sadness. Sometimes we, slip into depression because we think it's all doom and gloom. We fail to appreciate what we think are the small things, like waking up in the morning, like having a roof above our heads, like having transport money, having a job, having a family that cares, having a partner that loves you or a partner you love, having children. Sometimes we take those things for granted because we think, these are small things. No, that's a big deal. And that's why it's important for us to cultivate this culture of gratitude, because that helps you realize that it's actually not all doom and gloom. Things may not be working out in your life now, but hey, look on the other side. There's somebody who cares about you. You have food to eat tonight. You've got transport money. Maybe you're unemployed, but you still are surviving. You're still here and alive. Pumlani, you're in Alex. What are you grateful for?
Pumlani, how are you?
Sure, man. Go ahead.
Yes, Clement. Yeah, I'm very grateful, Clement. I got a bursary, which was, I think, 2 weeks ago. It's around here in Pretoria, not far from Edgewood. It's something that I've always wanted to do. It's software development. Yeah, I've been praying for that, remember. I said I wanted to move out from the healing business. So I'm really happy. I'm going to be starting next week. I've been called for orientation. Yeah, I just hope everything goes well. And I've had this guy that I've once gave him a trip to Joburg. So I called the guy telling him, "Would you know what? Because he's been asking me to do this thing," and he told me, as soon as I'm done, there's a job waiting for me. I'm like, oh my God.
Ah, Pumlani, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. We're celebrating with you, and all the best with your bursary and with the new job. Pumlani in Alex, 19 minutes after 9.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
on 702.
Tulani, you are in Centurion. What have you survived? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Clem. I was sharing with the producers there. I had just completed my first degree, and we were on our way basically to go fetch some of the stuff that we had left at campus. I did my first degree at the University of Fort Hare. So we were in a taxi.
Yeah.
The taxi was driving basically from Queenstown, I think, and we were going past it. There's a small town called Fort Beaufort. We had an accident in that taxi. I think we overturned probably 2 or 3 times, and the taxi fell into a river.
Oh my God!
Now, as we swam out of that taxi, when you looked back, that thing was completely submerged. You couldn't even see where it was.
Oh my goodness!
I was with one friend of mine. Probably if he's listening to this, he would call. His name was Punu Tlachadi. We came out of there, Clement. I didn't even have a scratch, didn't even have to go to hospital. Came out of it, obviously, and may God rest their souls. People died in that thing. We came out of there, no scratches, nothing. And students being students, when we got to campus, we bought the usual things and we drank.
What?
And it was like that.
Like nothing happened.
Hey, Clement, I'm telling you, brother.
That's
man, to this day, I actually didn't tell my mom about this until a while back because I know how strict she was. She was gonna, for some reason, I was just gonna be chastised, and it was gonna be as if it was my fault. So I had to keep quiet about this. And that was it. But I mean, I'm telling you, that thing rolled probably 3 times, fell deep into a river. People were actually rescued by some little boy who was probably 10, 11 years old, some little white boy. I think it was next to his home there. His father was standing up there and basically directing him because people couldn't swim, directing him to go fetch that one, go fetch that one, go get that one, go get that one. And we came out of that, but I mean, obviously, a number of people died in there. So, but we got to university, go back to campus, and we
resilient, yes,
go by.
Imagine after surviving something so tragic. Wow, Tilani, thank you for sharing your story with us in Centurion. Here are some of your WhatsApps.
Clemmy, more man. Flores here from the Western Cape. Clemmy, yeah, so sad. Condolences to those families of the plane crash. But however, I must commend those pilots. You can see how they struggled to bring that plane down safely. Even when it was nearing the runway, he really tried and put it down gently. So yeah, sad. Have a good show. Bye-bye.
Morning, Clement and the team. Hey, talking about accident and surviving, miracles, On last week Sunday, my brother-in-law, he survived a very bad accident on N1 coming from Pretoria. If I can send a picture of the car, you won't believe that the guy walked out of the car without any scratch. Only his friend he had minor injuries, but all in all, they were saved. Yeah, type of film, Leon Day. Great show as always.
Morning, Clement. This is so unbelievable because I also fell in a pit toilet when I was young. In my case, they were still digging the hole, so it was still unused. But yeah, I also fell in a pit toilet. So when I grew up, when I went to the shops with my grandmother, the aunties that used to stay in the same street as ours, they'll be saying, "Oh, she's that one who fell in the pit toilet." So yeah, well, I lived to tell the tale.
Hi, Clem and 702 lenders. I survived a head-on collision between my vehicle and a taxi. Both cars caught fire. By the grace of God, passers-by saw the accident and one of the guys ran and they were able to pull me out of the car. Unfortunately, the taxi driver wasn't fortunate to survive. I walked away with a broken leg from the ankle right up to the knee, and some secondary band wounds. But today I am fresh and gesond, and yeah, it was a traumatic experience. It took me a while to be confident to drive again. But yeah, I'm all good. Thanks. Great show, by the way.
Yeah, hey, so hectic what people have actually gone through. If you've just joined us, we're talking about this lone survivor from this plane crash that happened in India yesterday. This was a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. It came down in a residential area. I mean, when last did you hear of a plane literally plunging down in a residential area? It crashed into a medical college hostel during lunchtime. So there are 290 people that have been killed so far. But this plane, it was bound for London with 242 people on board, and it crashed literally a few minutes after taking off. When you look at the visuals, you can see that it struggled to gain altitude. And then this devastating impact occurred shortly afterwards. It's quite something else. So on the WhatsApp line, on 072 702 and 702, we've got some messages as well around gratitude. Mama Sia said, "Hello, Clement. I'm grateful for my sister, my mother, and some of my co-workers. I'm a bipolar patient and working on my wellness. I appreciate their support and care that they show towards me." Oh, Mama Sia, thank you so much for sending that. And I'm so glad you've got people around you who are supporting you, even with a condition that sometimes, people just do not understand, and they choose to just not understand and think this person behaves in this particular way, and they judge you on that. And to have a family or a support structure that cares so much to hold your hand throughout that, it really is something to be grateful of.
Hey, Clement and team, Tammy here. I am grateful for opportunities. Over the last 2 weeks, I have gotten new business, new clients, after over a year of my business not doing well. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm also grateful for recently just overcoming a little bit of my imposter syndrome. I chaired a meeting with just about 10 men who are experts in a particular field. And as young as I am, I was able to own it and run it. And I'm grateful for that. And yeah, man, I wish you guys all the best and have a great day.
Good morning, Clem, and all the 702 lenders. Clement, I'm grateful that I am alive and that I have a job. As simple as that may sound, I have watched how many people don't have jobs, how many people have died, both younger and older than me, but I'm still here breathing. I don't take that for granted, especially here in South Africa with a lot of people dying every day from all sorts of things. Accidents, natural disasters, crime, and all those things. And I'm still here alive. I am so much grateful to God for that. Very much grateful. There is a lot happening around this world, but I'm still here. I always joke about this, that I have not died before. I have never died. I don't know even the experience of it, but how many people older and younger than me that have died. But I'm still here, eternally grateful, indeed.
Hi, how's it, Clem? Don. I'm thankful and I'm grateful for the fact that I am alive and the Lord has given me another day to look forward to. And also, I'm grateful to 702 for the 2,000 rand that you guys just deposited into my account this morning, where I won the assurance question. So I'm grateful and I'm thankful.
Hi, Clement. Talking about surviving, it wasn't me personally, it was my team. Remember that big accident that once happened at Duva Power Station, Eskom, Unit 4? My team was there for a call out. When they just arrived, they were getting out of their cars, and that explosion happened. If you know how big a turbo machine is, like the 600 megawatt unit, you can imagine that thing ripping the concrete floors, going through walls, going through the roof. Man, it was a miracle that no one was killed in that accident, let alone injured. It was a big, we couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it. That unit was written off. It had to be rebuilt from scratch. Thanks. It's helpful.
Sure, yeah. Really, the stories we're getting are quite, some people are on the WhatsApp line talking about what they've survived. Someone who says, I once tried to commit suicide and it was just so devastating. It was a miracle that I actually survived that. Another one says, Clement, God is good all the time. We had a bus accident. The driver was hurt on the feet and the hands. He can't even turn the steering. The bus was running, controlling by itself, and all the cars were also running away from the bus. The bus now is facing to the river, not a small river. The river was very big, but because of God's miracle, the bus stopped near the river. It was trapped by the mud. No one was hurt except the driver. Yo, what have you survived? Huh? What have you survived when the odds were against you? And yeah, I'm also getting messages even on Twitter from some people who say they've also fallen in a pit toilet. Hey? Yeah, it really, really, really does happen. And it happens. And please tell me how old you were, because I think I was really, because I don't remember the incident much. I was really, really young when that happened. But yeah, my parents have often explained what transpired and how I managed to survive, because there was someone, a neighbor, who's screaming as soon as I fell, and a cousin jumped into the toilet to save me. And here we are. Thank God. It's 9:31.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
24 minutes before 10 o'clock. It's Friday. So every Friday we do a Gratitude Friday on the 702 open line. What are you grateful for this week? I'm sure this chap that survived this plane crash in India yesterday is definitely grateful, because 290 people were killed in that plane crash. This airplane in India that was bound for London with 242 people on board, crashing literally a few minutes after taking off. It's probably the worst. I can't think of another worst aviation disaster like this in a decade. So this man must be grateful. What are you grateful for? But I've also been asking you, what have you survived? What is it that you have survived when the odds were against you? Maybe it was an accident, or some people have really survived a terminal illness. There are people who've been told you only have 3 months to live, or a particular period to live, and they are still alive today. What is it for you that you've survived? 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072 702 1702. Here's something else that I want to raise with you this morning, because this comes from the conversation I had with Ray White on breakfast when I was preparing for the show. And so Ray asked me, and I'm talking about this because I see there's been a lot of response to what I said. So let me get some thoughts from the other listeners. Ray was asking me, is there a thing that happens in public that I really don't like, maybe that irritates me? And I said to Ray, I have a thing that I really don't like, but don't judge me because I think it's silly. I do acknowledge that it's silly, it's ridiculous, but it does get to me. And I said to Ray, it's actually people who have ringtones. Like in public and there's a phone ringing, that gets to me. Like I think that traumatizes me a bit. I honestly don't understand why people still have ringtones today. I don't. Because if your phone is on vibration, the vibration of some phones are strong enough for you to hear it. And yes, I understand if maybe you work in emergency, like you always have to have a phone on because, you cannot miss a call. If that's a space you work in, I get that. So for me, that's what sort of gets to me. So let me put it out there because some people are just like, what? What do you mean? Kate on Twitter says, Clement, not only is my old phone ringtone activated, but I also have a keyboard sound on. Oh my God. I'm getting goosebumps just reading that. No ways, Kate. No ways. And then there are people who also have, what are those things that your phone rings and it's a song? Caller tunes. And then people have, no. Caller tunes are when you are holding and the other person it's a ringtone. You can buy a ringtone, right? And you make it a song. Usher's song. Oh God. Who still does that? Huh? People still do that? Like you go buy Usher's song or okay. As I said, it's silly, it's ridiculous, but it just shocks me. And then you hear Usher's song, and it's actually someone's phone ringing. Do you have that? And tell me why. Is it your favorite song? It's like people who still have wallpapers. You've got a face of yourself on your phone or on your laptop. Or caller tunes. It's not a trrr, it's something else that you are subjected to while waiting to for the next person to answer. But anyway, that's what we were talking about with Ray. So maybe you can share your thoughts on that. Do you have a ringtone and why do you have a ringtone? Because some of them are so loud as well. Or are you one of those like myself who just can't take a ringtone? Like why? I don't get it. Do you have a caller tune where people listen to music while they wait to talk to you? Do you have a ringtone that you bought, like a song you bought? Huh? And maybe tell me, how is that going for you? Like, is it a cool thing or not? Or maybe you've got a wallpaper. You still have your picture on your phone or on your laptop. That's okay, And I'm not judging, just saying there's some people who find that weird, It's 19 minutes before 10.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
On 702.
Ishmael, you are in Sandton. Good morning.
Good morning, Clem. How are you doing, man?
Kimnat, how are you?
Man, first time caller, man. I'm great. I'm
Welcome.
great.
What are you grateful for?
Yes, man. I'm so grateful. I'm starting a new job on Tuesday.
Amazing.
Yeah, man. Looking at South Africa, how like the job market is so overcrowded, and I was like, because my contract was ending this June, and I was like, going back home and staying, and but God has done it for me. So I'll be starting a new job this Tuesday, and I'm grateful for God for that.
Oh, that's amazing. Ishmael, all the best with the new job, brother man. Ishmael calling us there from Sandton. What's up, son? 072 702 1702.
Hello, Clement. First time sending a voice note all the way from Ireland, and I listen to your station every single day on the app. So one thing that I survived, it was being run over by a car when I was 5. I just only remember first 5 seconds before the incident happened. And after that, I blacked out. I found myself at home being patched up from the hospital.
Hi, Clement. Prudence here. I'm also grateful for surviving an accident. It was on the 24th of September, I think 2020 or 2019, and I was with my 2 daughters, and we overturned with a car because we were avoiding a car that was coming through on oncoming. So we're trying to avoid that. I overturned with the car. I came out with a small fracture on my back, but the girls came out okay. They did not even see anything. It's just by God's grace, because my sister had taken them out that day. They swam the whole day. They were too tired. So when the accident happened, they did not see anything. And I thank God for that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, in a situation like that where you've got kids and there's something that happens, what do you do? I mean, it can be so devastating because one, you want to try protect them, but also you're thinking, is it even possible to get to them? Like, can you imagine being on a plane? I mean, I've seen so many stories on CNN and Al Jazeera last night of families, like pictures of families who were on that flight, 787. Like mom, dad, kids. When there's turbulence or you can see that this flight is about to go down, what do you even do? Do you try reach out for the kids? Oh, that is so traumatic. Brian, you're calling from Pretoria. Hi.
Hey, Clement, how's it?
Sure, man.
Hey, brah, I think we take for granted the gift of life, eh? Like, I really think we do. I cut a long story short, about in 2020, a friend of mine, I'm in a biking group, so going to East London, and a friend of mine is like, Joe, let's go. And I'm like, I'm not going. It's like, no, man, come on. I've made all the arrangements. Let's just go. And eventually I relented. We went to East London for about a couple of days. Coming back, quiet Monday morning, no issues. Hit a curve and I fell. The bike went one direction. I fell into a drain, like literally fell into a drain. And, I just had minor scratches. And, I remember sitting there, and it's like, what just happened? But honestly, as a bike, all I was thinking of was my bike. Is my bike okay?
Brian.
Yeah, it's my bike okay?
So,
but, yeah?
Yeah, I just feel like bikers are gambling with life. And I have a brother who
No, come on, you're not going to go there.
No, really, because, Brian, I have a brother who purchased one about 3 years ago, and I said to him, why? Because I'm worried about him. And he's already, fallen before on it. And I'm just so scared.
They say if you haven't fallen, you're about to. I think you just need to pray that your fall is a small one so that you can just get over it. But, not take too much of your time. A year or two later, a very friend of mine that actually forced me to go to that East London trip actually now pushes me to go to another trip, but it was a day trip, to Mafikeng. And for some odd reason, that day I was late. I'm never late for anything. I'm the punctual one. For some odd reason, I was late, and it was a bitterly cold winter morning. 70 kilometers into the trip, I asked him, are you okay? Because I could see he was not riding okay, And I asked him, are you okay? Hand signals. And I don't know what he said. And 20 seconds later, as I look on my rearview mirror, he was tumbling on his bike. He fell.
Oh, my goodness.
I U-turned, and the last two breaths he took, he was in my arms.
Oh, no.
Just like that. So I think for me, it's I'm still riding. I'm not going to stop riding. I'm still riding. I enjoy riding, but I think for me it's, the gift of life, my friend. Waking up in the morning with breath in your lungs and the opportunity to be the best you can become.
Absolutely, and we must be grateful for that. Look, Brian, I'm sorry to hear about your friend, man. But please be safe. Be safe out there.
I absolutely agree with you, Clement. I cannot stand people with the ringtones and caller tunes. Oh my goodness, grow up. Singabantu nerves. Your phone is loud even when it's on vibrate these days. There's absolutely no need for ringtones.
Listen.
Good morning, Clement. Pat here from Spayview. I do have a ringing tone, and it's very, very important to me because sometimes some people work in the office. Yes, you may not need ringtone that is loud. Sometimes some people work in a noisy area, or you might be in somewhere in outskirts, whereby you can't hear the phone. Sometimes driving, a noisy car or something. It's very important, Clement. I'm sorry. It is very, very important.
Hey, Clement, Tim Ngozi here. I'm so happy, so relieved that somebody else is out there that is exactly like me. You've made my day. I cannot handle ringtones. My phone is always on vibrate. Even when I'm sleeping, I can hear it vibrate, and I wake up and pick up the call. I don't understand people who actually have any sounds coming from their phones. Like, it's ridiculous. Have a great Friday. Cheers. Bye.
Karen, you're calling us from Krugersdorp. What are you grateful for?
Hi, Clement. Hope you're well.
Good, thank you.
Thank you. Today, my son turns 30 years old, but last year I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I'm grateful that I could see his 30th birthday.
Oh, that's amazing, Karen. That's amazing. And how's your journey so far with cancer?
It's actually been so amazing as well. You know, I'm grateful for supporting family and God most of all. But just it's really testing your spiritual life, your strength, and your support structure.
Yeah.
And but it's going good. I'm glad for medical aid and doctors and all of those things. But grateful that there's treatment. And I'm almost done with radiation. So I'm grateful.
Yeah, hold on, Karen. I've seen what radiation and chemo can do to people. So I'm really, you're in my thoughts. I wish you strength and all the best. I'm glad that you were able to see your son 10:30. Thank you for sharing your story with us. It's 10 minutes before 10.
Your voice,
your station,
your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
8 minutes before 10 o'clock. Sesh Galagala on Twitter just gave me nerves. Says, hi Clement, I have 3 different notification tones for message, for WhatsApp, and a ringtone. So I'm a person of different sounds. All day, every day, music has been my therapy partner. Oh my goodness. Yeah. 3 different ringtones or sounds. Yeah. Barry, you're in Vereeniging. What did you survive? Good morning.
Good morning. Morning, Clement. How are you?
Good, man. Go ahead.
Good. Listen, I've actually survived 12 hours in the desert in Angola.
Mm-hmm.
I walked 12 hours. I actually got lost. What happened was we were 2 teams on a fishing trip, and one team was staying in the desert while we went back to town quickly to go fetch some wood and stuff. And we came back and we actually got stuck in the sand. So we waited there, and it was only myself, the guide, and another old man that was 65 that went to the trip. So we couldn't get all of the other guys. So they told me, listen, someone needs to go look for them. So I was obviously the youngest, and I decided, okay, well, I'm going to walk. But they said just walk towards the sea because it's right next to the sea.
Yeah.
And I walked, and as I like to say, your one leg is actually shorter than the other. So over time you look back, it looks straight, but you're actually walking in a circle.
Yeah.
So I actually walked back to the previous town while the guys actually went to go look for me during that because they eventually got all of each other. So, but I was in the desert, so they went after me, looking for me, and they found me the next morning in the previous town we actually came through. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was actually
So you were alone for how many hours?
12 hours.
Oh.
I walked from about 7 till about 7 the next morning. So luckily it was during the night, so but yeah.
No, but that's worse. During the night? What do you mean, luckily? Oh, man.
Well, I'm still here, so I'm glad.
Oh, man, Perry, I'm glad you're here, man. Oh, God, I don't know what I would have, I don't know how I would have dealt with that. Perry in Vereeniging, thanks for sharing that story with us. 5 minutes before 10.
Your voice,
your station,
your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
Yeah, but I also judge people that have ringtones. I don't want to lie. And it's funny because my husband has a ringtone and he just doesn't get it. And
when his phone rings, I just cringe. I really just cringe. I'm like, I think ringtones are for old people. Like, vibration is okay. Like, only my dad and my mom have ringtones, and I get it for them. But anyone 40 and lower should not have a ringtone, because wow, guys, no, like, vibration is okay.
Wow, Clement. Yo, Mikey here. I feel really old. I'm shocked that there are people who cannot stand ringtones. My husband and I always complain about the fact that our children their phones are always on silent mode. And we cannot understand that. We can't process that. And there are actually people who hate ringtones. I'm like, wow. They'll have to excuse me. I can't hear my phone ring quite often. If I'm with my daughter will be the one telling me, Mama, your phone is ringing. So I'm sorry, guys. I have to have a ringtone. Bye.
Oh, hi, Clement. Speaking of ringtones, do you know what's annoying? The people that sends voice note on a public transport, they're sending voice notes and then they're listening to themselves and then they're listening to the reply, like for everyone to listen. Like in a text, someone is sending a voice note and then listening to themselves.
Yeah. Hey, Sam on Twitter says, Clement, net verdai. I'm going to make sure I sit closest to you at the men's brunch that you're hosting next week and turn up the ringtone. Sam, I will tell the organizers to throw you out. I promise.
Oh, come on, Clement and your friends. Come on, man. Leave us alone, man. One day you'll be our age, bro. One day you'll be our age. Ringtones are meant for our age. Leave us alone. We want to have the same ringtones as other people and not know whose phone is ringing. No.
What's your age, bruh? You don't sound that old. Look, I accept when it's older people. I can take that, right? Like our parents, grandparents, I get that. If you are our age, you are 40, like if you are younger than 45, nah, I don't know. But hey, each to their own. Hey? It's 2 minutes before 10.